All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life, I've been grinding all my life. Yeah, all my life.
Welcome to Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM, 1510.com, Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. We got it all. Wherever you want to find us, you can find us. We are here. I am Sterling Holmes live in studio. Darren Smith live at his home studio. Darren, how you doing today?
I am doing not as good as Dak Prescott, but much, much better than Les Miles.
So you're throwing shots early, huh? You're just going to go throw some haymakers early.
But, of course, why not? I mean, it's
All right.
deserving.
It's deserving. Let's get into it. Les Miles, Jeff Long, the KU fiasco that is this football team. Les Miles out.
Right.
No surprise here, right? We can probably both agree there's no surprise that Les Miles is out.
No, well, I mean, there's a little only because you would think this happened back at LSU 2013. You would have thought KU had done their due diligence, maybe, but obviously the friendship between Les Miles and Jeff Long went above and beyond because they didn't have to use a search firm. He just went out and basically made a phone call. Hey, we got an opening. You want to come? I'll pay you a whole lot of money. Don't say no. That's what happened. And he comes to Kansas without any real background check being done. But what's interesting is that you knew that this was already going on and under investigation and stuff. And I think by the time he even came here, that those reports had already been made public. So the fact that he was still hired says a lot about Jeff Long and his hiring process.
Yeah, because to me, Les Miles was a no-brainer. It's different if Les Miles was out here winning Kansas football 8 games a season. Dude's not winning games. If you're going winless and you have accusations and you have all this stuff going on behind the scenes, you're not getting kept.
Well, I mean, for what he's put out there on the field the last couple of years, you could have just kept David Beatty out here, for less price or, for less money. And so not a real good showing. Not to say that this is going to set KU back because it really hasn't set him, brought him forward. He obviously probably had, maybe I think he had better recruits than what he had than what David Beatty had, but that's not saying a whole lot because again, he had a lot of turnover in the coaching aspect that the coaches that he brought in that he was still turning over. Bringing his son in, I don't think really worked in his favor or worked any wonders as well. I mean, I can't really mad. I mean, your dad's the head coach. I mean, you're obviously going to play for the team. But all that being said, it has been a disastrous time on the field for him and then now off the field, basically getting fired for something that you hadn't done at KU yet, at least.
Yeah, this whole situation is a bad look for Kansas football. I'm not trying to be over dramatic, but how close is Kansas football from just folding it in? I'm not surprised there haven't been serious talks of saying, let's just focus on basketball.
You know what? That it's interesting. A lot of people have gone on social media and have mentioned just that, talked about just that. Why don't they get rid of it? But you can't have a Division I school of that size, that magnitude, not have a football program. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many other schools are actually like that you may have talked about or that you make that suggestion to. But the thing is, Kansas, they obviously got a lot of money because I think this is the 5th coach that they're going to be paying out money to right now, and so uh, I mean this is something that is going to leave a stain on the University of Kansas. But look, they fired him for cause and what was in his contract. They could fire him for just cause or anything that brought negative light to the program and to the to the football team to the university. And obviously, with the release of the second report by Hirsch and Blackwell, it did not have Les Miles in a favorable light. Now, in Les Miles' defense, he says that the stuff that happened never happened. Obviously, he's going to deny it. Um, but again, if I'm Les Miles, I understand why you're trying to fight it because this is what happened at LSU. Nothing like this is taking place this far while I'm here at KU. But going against him is it shows there had been some rumblings about some things going on at the University of Kansas with Les Miles as it relates to, uh, you know, younger people of the opposite persuasion of him, and so that being the case, that shows a sign of pattern or pattern behavior that you just don't want to come back and bite you. So, in the end, Kansas did what they had to do. Whether his lawyer said it was amounting to media pressure or anything like that, I mean, why? I mean, because at the end of the day, if you're Les Miles, do you want something to happen or some things to come out that makes it more embarrassing for you or your family? So I'm pretty sure he's not leaving empty-handed. Obviously, he made a lot of money. I think his first 2 years here, and so I think he was second highest paid behind Bill Self. So I'm pretty sure even now he's not going to leave without the bag.
Well, even strictly from a football perspective, you went 0-9 last year. You're 3-18 in your 2 seasons since joining Kansas, since taking over. You were supposed to be this national championship winning head coach. You're going to bring this swagger. You had all these slogans that were just lame. Just to me, if you're looking at even just from a football perspective, it's about time for him to go. You go winless. You
Yeah,
didn't win a single game. I don't care. Like you couldn't win a single game.
I mean
You're a national.
it was a
To me,
COVID. It was COVID
no,
era though. I mean, we
I get it.
just a little
Hey,
bit of slack,
I
just a little.
I get it. Sure, but 3-18. My point is this: if you're gonna try and ride your name like this, because I think Les Miles tried riding his name for a long time, saying, "Hey, look what I did in 2007. Look what I did in 2011." That's
The
10
Nick
years ago.
Saban's people, yeah.
I mean, that's 10 years ago. I think he was still trying to ride his name. It didn't work, and he had no game plan. That's my opinion. Was he had no game plan. He thought his name would work no matter wherever he went. He would show his ring off. He finds out it's a lot tougher than he thinks at Kansas to win football games. Has no game plan, and this is what happens.
That's fair. And you know what? I agree with that assessment. I don't think he had a plan when he came in to Kansas. Again, I think he, like you said, he showed off the ring, showed off, his relationship with the Rick Ross, and that, hey, I can bring those type of people here to the University of Kansas as a recruit or have them on the phone with you. I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree with that one bit, Sterling. That analysis that you just provided.
So it looks like, according to Jesse Newell, KU and Les Miles settled for 1 million, almost $2 million.
I told you he
That's
wouldn't leave
what
without the bag. I mean, yeah. I
That
mean,
was 17 minutes ago. Per Jesse Newell, KU and Les Miles settled for just under $2 million per his settlement agreement released by Kansas.
well, again, you got to remember now. While they were able to possibly show just cause, again, it was something that took place at another institution and not at the University of Kansas. Because trust and believe, Les Miles' lawyer is pretty good. He they wasn't leaving empty-handed, especially if you're going to fire him because of a report from what 8 years ago, 7 8 years ago. Yeah, I'm not leaving empty-handed. So I think that I think this is the end of his coaching career. I mean, if he comes back and coach, it would be at a smaller
Surprise.
level. Well, that too, but also it would be as an assistant. I don't foresee him getting another head coaching position. Because if so, then you're going to have to do this, and so I mean you're going to have to deal with the media backlash, and then you got to justify it. And then trust me, if you were to get hired from another D1 school, there would be women protesting, women organizations protesting, left and right. And again, what university wants to deal with it? Now, maybe if he goes back down to the deep south, I don't know, in the Bible Belt where seriously, I mean,
Well, yeah.
they may think differently about it. They may think what he did was okay. I don't know.
According to USA Today, at LSU, he was banned from talking to co-eds. You know how there has to be some substance there. If you're banned from for being with co-eds, from contacting them, according to USA Today.
Well, I thought scenario was he couldn't have any students or female students like working for him or
Yeah,
being alone in his office and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah,
I know
that's a
there's
bad
more
look.
to it, but yeah, man. But you know what though, I will say this: even when I worked in a corporate role, Hey, look, and I did this sometime when I graduated from Lincoln University and went back to work for them. One thing that I never had a female in my office with the door closed. Never. I was like, nope, I don't even want to go there. Don't want to have that rep or anything like that. Like if a female had to come office, they leave the door open or we sit out, in the months. But I'm not closing my office door whatsoever. Not unless I had a door that had glass or whatever that you could see through. But never once would I even allow myself to be in a situation like Les found himself in.
To me, it comes down to next, what happened with Jeff Long? Does Jeff Long just get a pass? Because I don't think Jeff Long should get a pass for hiring Les Miles after. It's not like Jeff Long has this great track record. I mean, it's not like Jeff Long is out here. Sure, back in the day he did, but his last few, what was it, Arkansas, and then now this, you're saying, okay, you came here to turn the football program around. We've seen zero improvement. At what point do you say, Jeff Long, we need some questions from or some answers from you?
I'm pretty sure I've been in the presence of. Well, I know I've been in the presence, but I've never met him. Uh, just face to face, just had a conversation with him. But just based off of what I've read, what I know, and what has come out, I think that he should be gone right along with them. The question is going to be: you talk about holding somebody accountable, whether or not the University of Kansas is going to hold Jeff Long accountable. Because you got to remember, he did not use a search firm, uh, to find this coach. He just hired him on his own volition. He probably did the contract and stuff. So you cost the school, I believe, about $8 million. If I'm correct, because I think he was paid $3 million these last two seasons, and then of course with this $2 million settlement or buyout or whatever you want to call it, that's $8 million. So Jeff Long has cost the institution $8 million. Now, granted, you got to pay for the name. I'm not gonna argue that point. But had you done your due diligence, you might have found somebody else and said this guy who you got to let go. Obviously, and look, had you just fired him because of what was on the field, well, I'm glad that they didn't because they would have had to pay out a lot more than that. But because you're doing this for the show cause, then I guess it's fine. But no, but Jeff Long needs to go right along with them.
Just to me, you can't have all of this stuff. Again, he was the one that had Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino, the whole off the field issues there. He tried doing some cover ups, some allegedly cover ups there. Then you have Les Miles, where you don't do your background checks after you already have had a mistake in the hiring process before. Even without the wins and loss aspect of this is bad. Then once you add in the win and loss aspect of this, I don't know how you would want to keep Jeff Long. If you're Kansas and the chancellors and people on the board, why would I want someone who could potentially hire issue guys who also don't win? That to me is a recipe for disaster.
No, I mean I agree, but again, this, but you know what? Let me just say this, Sterling. This kind of goes back to the good old boy network, okay? This, there's reasons like this where Eric Bieniemy and others can't get a head coaching job again. Jeff Long hired his friend. Wasn't like they did a big search or whatever. He just hired his friend, and so um, now of course they're going to use a firm, and even in the NCAA they have, I guess, a type of Rooney Rule, so to speak, where they have to interview minority candidates, and so hopefully they'll do it right this time around. To be quite honest, though, I mean, when you look at it, who wants to? I mean, what name is out there that you would bring in to coach at Kansas? I mean, who would want to come? Because
I no idea. I
yeah,
mean, none. I mean, you got Les Miles, and at the time we thought Les Miles was like a huge name for Kansas, but I have zero idea who would want to coach. It's been a disaster where anyone who has coached there recently, their career is over. They're not going to another Power Five or even another school in coaching. It's done.
you know what? I will say this. I have a buddy on on Twitter, goes by the name B Ball Kansas. Um, he did make a suggestion, and I will admit that possibly could be a pretty good one. that one of the Chiefs defensive coaches he thinks would be a good name to possibly follow Les Miles over there. Plus, he also if you get rid if you get rid of Jeff Long, perhaps they bring in Greg Gurley to uh, to be the new athletic director since he's already there. As the chief fundraiser for the athletic department.
They have not had any success since Mark Mangino was there. 2000, what was that? 7 to 2009.
Yeah.
And then when he got released for his actions, his on the field, off the field incidents, I have no idea what their best route is if you're Kansas. I have no idea because, again, I'm with you where I don't know who is going to want to go there. No one established is going to go to Kansas. No one who is in an established place is going to Kansas football right now. We've seen time and time again.
Well,
I think their best.
You can, but at your own. But you get to name your own price. Now if they decided they're going to bring them in, bring somebody in, and they'll pay the asking price, I can see some people going there.
I almost can't because the reason why is if you are the board and you are going to be in charge of how much the contracts are going to be, you're not paying a dude. KU football is not bringing in money. At some point to say this is not a lucrative business model we're running here. No matter how much we pay a guy, it's not going to turn around in 1 year. We're not going to hemorrhage money and take away from other Kansas athletics, especially basketball. They're not going to want to hurt Kansas basketball. That's what comes first and foremost. It's going to have to be, in my opinion, the inside hire, the coordinator, the D coordinator, offensive coordinator.
I could see that happening only because, of course, you're not going to have to pay as much. But I tell you, I mean, even then, though, man, that's a job that it's like a black hole, man. It's just there's no. I mean, you don't even have the infrastructure in place. I believe at one time they had passed a resolution to build or kind of renovate that stadium or whatever. But again, with COVID and everything that's going, that's happening, would you really? Again, I don't know, man. That's just it's. I cover them, okay, and it's hard. Well, let me not say that because I don't want them to start giving me credentials. But it's rough. It's rough sometimes, to go out there and watch them play because you feel bad for the kids, And I know they're young men, so let me not call them kids, but the opportunity that they had and the position that this coach put him in, and I can't stand his apology, sorry about yeah, I mean, you're sorry because of what you did in the past and that you got, and then it finally caught up with you, but you're not really sorry for what you did. And so, I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, who knows, man? It's
I mean, when
and
Turner,
Jeff Long knew, and I'm sorry, Jeff Long knew what was going on at LSU with Les Miles because they were friends. And if he didn't know, again, that's a dereliction. That is a dereliction of duty, and he should be fired just because of that.
yeah, either way, this falls back to either Jeff Long knowing and doing nothing, or Jeff Long not knowing, not doing his due diligence, and then that's still not an excuse. When Turner Gill has maybe been the best head coach since Mark Mangino, Charlie Weiss went there. That you tried your big name guy and Charlie Weiss couldn't get it done. You tried Clint Bowen, went 1-7. Then you had David Betty. Then you had Les Miles. And this is after Turner Gill. I mean, these guys. There's been no progress since what 2008.
Yep.
I mean, that's 13 years.
Yeah.
I've not. Have you seen anything like this in a Power 5 conference in a sport like this that's just so continuously poorly ran?
Mizzou.
No, but I mean, but even in Mizzou's darkest times, at least in the past recent years, it was a 4-year situation. It was at least you're maybe making the tournament. I mean, Martin at least made the tournament his first year. I mean, it's not like Mizzou has a great team, but they're making the tournament every couple seasons.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. It was. Let me just add. It was Matt House, my guy Chris. He suggested Greg Early becomes the new AD. Matt House of the Kansas City Chiefs become the new head football coach. They're both sitting in Kansas ready to go. I'm all for
I do it. I mean, Greg Gurley's awesome. I would love to see Greg Gurley out there as a head coach.
it. No, I'm with you. No. Greg Gurley as the AD. Matt House will be the head football coach.
Even better. That's even better. I was wondering why Greg Gurley was going to be the football coach. I was very confused there, but I like Greg
You
Gurley,
only
so I was
confused
for
because you wasn't
anything.
listening. I said Greg Gurley as the AD, Matt House as the head football coach. Sterling. See, all that
Darren,
all that winning that you celebrated last night from your first bet win and your second bet that you won today. Look, man, calm down, calm down.
I have 6 screens pulled up over here trying to find out what Turner Gill's up to over here. I'm trying to find out what's going on with Kansas football and Jeff Long, but I'm glad we could both agree on something.
Well, look. Let me ask you this though, because I know we got to talk KU basketball in just a second. But if you're if you're Kansas, and let's just say for the sake of discussion, you get rid of Jeff Long, bring Greg Gurley in, or whoever in, would you have an issue if they went back and hired someone that like a Mangino or Turner Gill or someone to bring back in?
Not at all. I mean, it's up to them at this point. You need to get whoever you can possibly get to be the head coach at Kansas. I don't even know if high school coaches at a big high school would be like, you know what, let me go and take on this KU coaching role. I don't even know. Like that's how bad this position probably is at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. But of course, look, we got the Big 12 tournament that starts tomorrow night down at the T-Mobile Center? Yeah, the T-Mobile Center. I got to get used to talking like that now. The T-Mobile Center. Ugh.
It's weird. It's
Uh,
weird saying it.
but that being the case, Kansas is going to be without two of their big men, including the starter David McCormick and Tristan Inaruna, who are going to be out of the Big 12 tourney due to COVID-19 protocol, Sterling. Bill Self announced this earlier today on a Zoom call with us around 1:30 or so today. But he believes both players will be back in time for the NCAA tournament, and the rest of the roster will be able to suit up for the conference tournament this week in Kansas City. My question for you is, with the absence of those two, does this hurt KU's chances in winning the tournament?
I think it hurts the Big 12 tournament. Yeah, I think David McCormick is a pretty big loss. When you lose your starting big man, that's always gonna wreak havoc on your team. You're gonna have to do a lot of things different. Jalen Wilson is really gonna have to step up, especially on the glass. It's not gonna affect him for the tournament as long as these guys don't actually have COVID. As long as this is just the protocols. Is this is just the if this is just the precautions and they're okay, then hopefully this doesn't affect them for the tournament because they need David McCormick.
Oh yeah.
They need David McCormick. So as far as the Big 12 tournament, to be honest with you, they don't really need to do much in it. Their spot has already been skyrocketing, especially with that win over Baylor. If they were a 3 seed, and this is coming from a Mizzou fan, by the way, if Kansas ended up as a 3 seed, I would not be surprised, and I would have no qualms with that.
Nah, well, first of all, I guess as a Mizzou guy, you probably just hope Mizzou makes it to the tourney.
We're in, baby. We're in.
I think. Look, I think that it doesn't help their chances. I don't think they were going to beat Baylor again in the tournament this time around. 3 days, 3 days to do it. I don't think that they stand a chance against Baylor. I think Baylor's going to come in into this tournament. I think they're going to run roughshod. I know we got Todd Lebo on tomorrow. I'm trying to finagle him to let me use his credential for tomorrow night. So I can go to those games to watch the K State. Me, I just like live sporting events, and the fact that they're back having it, I'm excited about it. Um, but this is an opportunity for the role players to step up. Obviously, Mitch Lightfoot, and I believe I think Mitch is gonna be back next year again. I don't know how that happens, but
Dude, he seems like he's been there like Aaron Kraft amount of time. Like Aaron Kraft seemed like he was with Ohio State for like 12 seasons. Mitch Lightfoot seems to be in the same situation.
Mitch is such a good guy too. I remember when I went to cover Deontay Wilder fight, it was me, him, and Travis Kelsey on the same flight going to New York. Now he was going to visit his parents. Me and Travis were going up there for the fight. But now Mitch is a good guy. But we'll get a chance to see what he's able to do against the talent that we're going to see this weekend. This week coming up at the T-Mobile Center. and also Ty Grant Foster. We get a chance to see what he can do as well. So this is going to hurt KU, but Bill Self, Hall of Fame coach. Hey, I mean, yeah, this is the time to let's see. Put your resume out there. Let's see what you can do.
I'm with you, and I do think Jalen Wilson to me will be the guy to watch. If Jalen Wilson comes out and has those huge games like he did early on this season, if he does that, I think Kansas has a real shot to win this thing.
Yeah.
Jalen Wilson to me he is that X factor. He is that guy where if he's on and he's hitting and he's doing all the things, like he had 14 rebounds a couple games ago, and you're just sitting there like, if he does this game in and game out, just watch out.
I'm curious now. With this Big 12 coming up, one of the players obviously we need to watch out for and pay attention to this week, Sherlin, is Oklahoma State's Cade Cunningham. He used to projected obviously
Yeah.
#1 pick. He was named Big 12 Player of the Year and Big 12 Freshman of the Year. Now that the last time that this happened, you had Marcus Smart, Michael Beasley, and Kevin Durant that played a star-studded 1 year and done, one and done. So what do you expect from Cade and Oklahoma State this weekend? Because now it looks like I'm gonna have to drop a couple of dollars on them this week.
They're just a tough team to get a real feel for. Cade Cunningham is an absolute monster. Dude is a stud. I can't get a feel on this Oklahoma State team. I have no idea what their ceiling is. I feel like they're still behind Kansas, Baylor, Gonzaga, or not Baylor, but I guess Baylor and not Gonzaga. I apologize there. Behind Baylor and Kansas, even behind West Virginia to me. Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, I have no idea what to expect. I really like Mac McClung from Texas Tech. I think if he gets hot, that's a team to watch out for just based on what they've done defensively. But to me, I still think it's going to come down to Kansas and it's going to come down to Baylor for this Big 12 tournament.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you 1,000%. I'm just curious as to how you think he's going to do. Because again, I'm old school. If I got a player that's that big time, I need him to step up and make things happen and put us in a position to win. And so, but I know they play. I believe they play Thursday. I can't remember who they play against. They play West Virginia Thursday morning at 10:30. So yeah, I will be.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, and look, they're number 12 in the nation. This is going to. I mean, look, Big 12 basketball, best conference in the country right now. You got 6 teams ranked in the top 25. No better place to be than Kansas City and the T-Mobile Center this weekend. And of course, I don't know if you realize this, Sterling, but A10 Sports Radio A10, our sister station, we are playing and we're going to be airing most of the championship games this weekend. Later on this evening, we got the West Coast Conference Championship game over on Sports Radio 18. No, actually, we got that on this station on ESPN Kansas City later on this evening at 8 o'clock tonight. Thursday, we've got KU at 5:30, and then we also have that's going to be on Sports Radio 18. We also have the ACC tourney quarterfinals beginning at 5 o'clock on Thursday, and then of course we got Big 12 semifinals, both 1 and 2, both Friday and Saturday, and with the championship games, man. So we got a whole lot going on. We got a lot of college basketball. So if you haven't started your March Madness stuff, you got to do so. You can do it with Sports Radio 810. You can do it with ESPN Kansas City, and also, Sherlin, you and I don't know. It may be when we go down, and I think if we do a show from the NAI, we got to stop down and get some Gates barbecue.
Oh, 100%. You and I are getting Gates. We're going to the NAIA tournament, and we're having ourselves a day.
Yes.
I said day. I said day with a Y.
Yeah. Well, trust me. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to give you a quick heads up. I know we got to go to break. But Steve and I twice did the NAIA tournament where we opened it up and we closed it. Like literally, the first 2 days, the games would start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we wouldn't. In the final game went into like 1:30 in the morning, and we open and shut it. I mean, because we that's what we do, man. That's how bad that's how bad we like basketball and how much we enjoy what we did.
Do you think they'll ask us to do a half court shot? I gotta know what to wear. I gotta see if they're gonna need me if they need a 3-point shooter.
They're not asking me.
Come on. They need a 3-point shooter. They need me to come in. I'll be the guy with the bench.
Only way I do it is if I get to do it like my guy Woody Harrelson in White Man Can't Jump. If I can, if I can shoot it from the motherland and do a hook shot, knowing it's not going to go in, but I just want to see what it looks like.
You just want to see what happens.
I just want to see what happens. You never know. You put some odds on it, 2,500 to 1. You never know what might happen.
We do have to take a quick break. This is Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City. We'll come back with some NFL talk.
A KC tradition since 1957, Hereford House is a locally owned steakhouse that has served generations of Kansas Cityans. Hereford House exclusively serves certified Hereford beef, which has been proven to be naturally more tender and flavorful than other brands. All their steaks are aged 21 days, hand-cut daily, and grilled over an open charcoal flame. This process provides a wonderful aroma and delicious flavor that cannot be duplicated by any other cooking method. Hereford House, Leawood, Independence, Shawnee, and Zona Rosa.
Are you looking for unique sporty clothing and merchandise that makes you stand out from the crowd? Do you love Kansas City sports teams? The Cherry Company designs and creates fashion-forward gear for athletes, avid sports fans, and everything in between. Check out our famous Casey Mahomes denim jacket at cherrysportsgear.com or find it in stores in the Made in KC, Lee Summit, or Plaza location. Sport styles, sport local, sport Cherry. Want a 20% off discount? Mention 810 Sports in store or use code 810 online. Stay on top and visit cherrysportsgear.com today.
Find your style with Patriot Lighting from Menards. Choose from more than 7,000 interior lights. Patriot Lighting collections come in a variety of unique styles and finishes to help give your home a fresh, updated look. Save today with 11% off all Patriot Lighting interior collections. Start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through Saturday, March 13th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
With spring approaching, it brings new sounds. Birds chirping and dripping icicles. KC will be in full bloom soon. What better time to get outdoors? Your hometown friends at Bushnell are here, and we want you to enjoy this time of year and share your passion for the outdoors. Camping, target shooting, hunting, or heading out to the ballpark. Bushnell has what you need to get outside and enjoy the spring season. Visit the Bushnell Factory Outlet or check out bushnell.com to see the latest assortment in binoculars, rifle scopes, rangefinders, and more.
Space Camper Cosmic IPA is a juicy hot blast of flavor. Citrusy and balanced, this is an IPA with a mission to save the Earth because it's the only planet with beer. You might not know it, but Boulevard Brewing Company has been passionate about taking care of our planet for decades. Between their zero-waste brewery to Ripple Glass, Boulevard has been making great beer you can feel great about. Stock up on Space Camper Cosmic IPA today. Boulevard Brewing Company, Kansas City, Missouri.
Hey, this is Stephen St. John, and I've been listening to how great Nate feels after going to Stretch Zone, so I had to try it out myself, and I feel fantastic. And my wife, Susan, she's had 2 years of daily back pain, which is already feeling better after a few sessions. Stretch Zone will help you relieve stiffness and soreness, increase and maintain range of motions, and enhance physical skills. Stretch Zone is located in Lenexa and Overland Park. For more information, check out stretchzone.com.
Welcome back to Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM, 1510.com, Facebook Live, Twitter, Periscope. Darren, they did it. The Cowboys and Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott finally got a deal done. A massive deal.
Yeah.
$160 million contract with $126 million guaranteed, the now second highest paid quarterback in the NFL. What do you think of this monster deal?
Well, a couple of things. One, I'm glad you changed your mind last week about your situation with Dak Prescott and him getting paid. So I'm shocked because I thought that he would be tagged. I think a lot of people thought he would be tagged, and just the mere fact that he wasn't tagged and the deal got done in the way that it was announced. I think the biggest shocker was the fact that he's being paid $75 million this year, and he's only going to count $22 million against us. I don't understand how. Again, these GMs, owners, they have a way to manipulate the salary cap. But I will say, because I remember listening to Undisputed this morning, and Skip Bayless read something on air that says that at any time they see fit or need to, they can convert his contract or his roster or something to a signing bonus, so that would alleviate cap. So I'm like, well, why don't you just give him $160 million signing bonus and call it a day? Let him play for free the next 4 years. That's what I'm thinking. But all that being said, and I do want to say something because I'm just checking my email and I apologize for our audience, but uh, KU's athletic director Jeff Long is actually talking to the media currently while we're doing this. I know, and I said it that Todd because Todd Lebo had posted some stuff on on Twitter. So but if you want me to update you about some of the things that he said, I can do that. But I just want to put that
Sure.
out there.
Yeah.
So
No, let's go to it live.
well,
Throw us. What do you know so far with the Jeff Long?
well, he said that as it relates to say the football program, he said despite the record, they see progress. I'm not sure if he's gotten laser vision or anything like that, but he said he sees some progress. Now, according to Todd Lebo, he did say that Jeff Long claims that he asked Les Miles if there was anything in his past that would embarrass the university back in 2018. Long told Miles, I'm sorry, Jeff Long said that Miles told him that there was not, and so take that
That's
for.
like that's like catching someone like smoking weed and say, "Is that weed?" And the guy goes, "No," and you go, "All right, we'll move along." Like that's what that seems like.
And like I said, Jeff Long has also said that he's beyond disappointed the University of Kansas is in this by putting him in this position. But he says that the school ran multiple background checks when informed about the reports from LSU. Again, now all Long did was, "Hey, is there anything I should be concerned about?" And I was like, "No." Okay, we can hire him. I mean, so that's not saying a whole lot. But he also said that he plans on leaning and seeking thoughts from former players and alumni as it relates to the next coach. I highly doubt it. I just don't.
Wait, Darren, though, if they did background checks, this would have came up, right? So then that mean they probably knew about this. They probably just didn't think it was a big deal at the time. That's what that leads me to believe.
Yeah, man, you know what? I'm really upset at myself. One, for not checking email, but two, we would have probably had to go to this thing live because I probably would have wanted to jump on the Zoom call and get a question in because basically the best question that I would answer is, do you think you should be held accountable for your judgment? And yeah, I mean, really, he should be, and of course, he'll probably, he would have, probably said that he wasn't, or that he has been held accountable, but I highly doubt it. And so, um, but he also said that they learned on February 24th about some of the allegations and the secret settlement. So, uh, but I mean, it's
It is what it is. At this point, everything's come out, and we'll find out from here whether Jeff Long will be held accountable. We'll find out if Les Miles will have some other issues outside of Kansas come up. So there's going to be a lot to stay informed on with this.
Yeah, this is a sad day for Kansas, the University of Kansas, and not even just football, just athletics, especially with how well Kansas is playing now as they start the Big 12 tournament. But this is an embarrassing situation that they shouldn't even have had to be in right now, and so the fact that they are is just.
Well, I'll say this: if you didn't have a football program at Kansas, you wouldn't have these embarrassing things come up. You're not winning any games anyways.
Yeah, but what about the kids, man? That's the thing. What about?
I know. Hey, Darren, I know. I'm not
No, I know.
seriously saying that.
No, I know.
That's who you do have to keep in mind, though, is these kids. This is absolutely miserable for these Kansas Jayhawk football guys. I mean, this is brutal for the players.
And you know what? I'm gonna just throw it out there. If Jeff Long was somebody, was the athletic director for, let's say, I don't even want. I'm not gonna go there. But but this is the height of a privilege for someone like Jeff Long to be able to make these kind of careless mistakes and still keep his job. So, but I don't know. I mean, maybe there needs to be pressure put on the administration to get rid of Jeff Long. But
And I think we'll probably see that in the upcoming days. I would be shocked if we didn't see a lot of pressure on Jeff Long and his job in the upcoming days. I don't want to throw anything out there, but like,
I
would
think
you
he's
be?
too oblivious.
You think so?
I think so.
To me, I almost think that if he's not gone by Friday, I would be shocked.
Oh, you're ready to call yourself shocked because he's not going anywhere.
We'll see. I mean, again,
not by Friday at least.
If you have off the field issues, or if you have stuff in your past, a lot of times it gets overlooked or it'll be swept under the rug if you're winning. But if you're losing and having these issues, you're not sticking around. I mean, look at
But
like
if you're
Bruce
Jeff Long, but if you're Jeff Long, you're gonna pivot so fast after this press conference to obviously naming the interim head coach and doing the search thing. But you're gonna pivot so quickly to college basketball and to the basketball team that I mean he's not going to give himself enough time to even think about stepping away.
Sure. What is just to me, just throwing this out again, not to the same extent at all, but Bruce Pearl, for example, has had some previous off the field or off the court or even some of his, violations in college basketball. What happens? He gets another job and takes him to a Final Four. If you win, people will look the other way.
Hey, they do it all the time. I mean, I don't disagree with you with that, Sterling. I don't know. I'm so through with this Jeff Long situation because other people who would be fortunate enough to be in that position wouldn't get a second chance to foul up like he did. But going back to Dak Prescott, Sterling. I mean, again, $75 million this first year, $22 million against the cap. The man would have made $106 million within a 1 year, 1.5 years, man. Now, again, we talked yesterday, maybe talking to Chad and having him put the franchise tag on us or whatever. You only work for somebody's willing to pay you $160 million 4 year deal. That got what he wanted, and not only that, by the time he's a free agent again, there's going to be new television contracts. So he did it just right. I think the other one might have been Dak. No, not Dak. Maybe Deshaun. I think Deshaun's deal expires. I think a year after or whatever. A year after the TV contracts get renewed in 2025, 2026. But at the end of the day, Dak got the bag, and he's deserving of. I'm not saying he's deserving to be number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes because he's not, but he was the next man up. But you know what this says? That come next season, or maybe even this off season, Patrick Mahomes is not going to be the top paid player any longer. It's going to be either Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. It's just how it is. Next man up, and Dak, to his credit, kind of reset the market because at the time nobody was going to get more, and nobody should get more than Patrick Mahomes. But the next person up will probably be, again, either Baker Mayfield, and I don't think Baker gets that much, but you never know. Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I think they get over Dak Prescott, but still below Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes still will retain the lead, as being the highest paid player on average, even after this offseason.
Yeah, I'm with you there. The thing that makes this make sense for me, even with these eye-poppingly large numbers,
they're large.
The Cowboys are in the best position to win the NFC East for the next 4 seasons easily. And you don't want to risk Dak Prescott leaving, and you have such an easy route to the playoffs, and now you have no quarterback, and now you're in the same boat as every other team in the NFC East. When you pay Dak Prescott, you at least pay for what you know. You pay for a above-average quarterback, a good quarterback, not quite elite, but a very good quarterback. And that right now is good enough to win you the NFC East. That's good enough to take you to the playoffs where anything can happen. So to me, this makes sense.
It makes sense, but now how much pressure is on Dak Prescott now? Because look, he was already under pressure the last year, 2 years, trying to get this contract. Now that he's got this contract, and to his credit, to his agent's credit, even to the Cowboys' credit, it is comparable to Patrick Mahomes, where it's more team friendly structured, because it's actually spread it over 6 years, but the last 2 years are avoidable. But
Yeah.
again, with the signing bonus, you can prorate that out however long you want to. So he's going to get that regardless. I think about it as a 60, 65, 66.
66 million.
Yeah, and so, but you got 126 that's guaranteed. I don't know how much fully guaranteed, but it's guaranteed. Look, he's getting 75 million this year, so I don't know how much of that is going to be that signing bonus, but he's getting 75 of it this year. So, um, I, I'm happy for him. I mean, I can't, you know, I mean, I've met him a couple of times. Next time I see him, I doubt. Well, I think, well, yeah, they come to Kansas City, so hopefully, if the media were back in the locker room and stuff like that, I'll, ask him for a loan. Like, hey, let me holler at you. Let me get a little loan so I can invest in this Gates barbecue over here. But he is, that's a lot of money, man. I'm happy for him.
Did Jerry Jones make the right decision here? Do you think, in your mind, this is the right decision for the Cowboys?
Yes, it's better to dance with the devil you know than the devil you don't. And so, um, the mistake that he made, and I've said this before, where he could have signed Dak Prescott to an extension after his third year, especially after he had won his second, or he helped lead the team to their second NFC East division crown. But you decided to wait, and instead of signing him back then, where you could have had him maybe 5 years, $125 million,
Yep.
you decide to wait. You didn't sign him last year when you could have, and signed him last year. You could have had him for 35, 36 million, but you didn't. Now you're paying him literally an extra 25, $35 million. So,
I am in agreement with you, and I don't know why teams don't do this more often. It's not like Dak even played last year. He was hurt for most of the year, and his value was still this high. Just to
well,
me,
his value was high because the team lost. I mean,
well, sure, but sure, I'm with you there. But just in general, I don't understand why teams don't pay earlier. We've seen this play out time and time again. Of course, you'll have your certain cases, and you'll have guys not pan out, but typically that's still going to be on a cheaper deal than when you wait. And the Chiefs played it smart by doing Patrick early. If they would have waited, if Patrick would have saw what Dak Prescott got, my goodness, we're talking probably even crazier money.
Well, here's the thing. One, there was that situation was never going to happen. Even if, let's just say, for the sake of this discussion, the Chiefs had Patrick for his first 7 years, because you got to remember, next year he's still on his rookie contract, or
Sure.
this season he's still on his rookie contract. His contract doesn't kick in until, well, his contract actually kicks in at the start of the season, because it's going to be, his guarantee comes a year early. So, but he's on his fifth year contract, so he's only counting against the team, I think, for $10 million this year, unless they decide to do that fuzzy math when it comes to the salary cap. But the Chiefs could have let him play this year, and they could have tagged him the next 2 years, but they didn't want to run the case where, because 2 years from now, actually 3 years from now, after he would have been tagged twice, you're looking at paying Patrick damn near $60 to $70 a season.
I honestly think that Roger Goodell has no idea how the salary cap works, and teams are just saying, "Hey, Roger." So they throw out like 7 different numbers and then just make it work for their team, because that's what it seems like Brett Veach is. I'm obviously kidding, but that's just what it makes it seem like with all these funny money deals that seemingly go on.
No. I know you're kidding, but I want our audience to understand is that the NFL put in that clause that I mentioned earlier that Skip Bayless read on the show today, about how they can convert, because remember, I kept trying to figure out how the team is going to get underneath the salary cap. When he talked about converting Patrick Mahomes, I think Travis Kelce, somebody else's money, Frank Clark, to a signing bonus or whatever, to where they can get underneath the salary cap. So that's the one provision that teams have, which, to be honest, I'm not sure why more teams just don't do that.
Zero idea. Maybe they don't know how. They don't have the accountancy that the Chiefs have. The Chiefs have.
I'd
they
like
have
to think that these
wizards.
general managers are a little bit on the smart side. I'd like to think that.
I think you may be giving some of them too much credit after
I
some of the
must be.
deals we've seen.
Yeah, it must be. Well, especially Miami, because Miami signed a guy $51 million and then cut him a year later after paying him 30. So
Well, we do have to take a quick break. There's a lot more NFL news to talk about, some Jeff Long news. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back, finish the show strong. This is Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City.
The NAIA Men's Basketball National Championship is just around the corner on March 18th through the 23rd downtown at Municipal Auditorium. 15 games over the course of 5 days as we crown the 83rd NAIA Men's Basketball National Champion. Catch all the excitement as single-day tickets start at just $20. For ticket and championship information, go to NAIAHoops.com today. The NAIA Men's Basketball National Championship, a Kansas City tradition.
When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig. And bounce forward with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. Get started with a reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at $64.90 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Call or go online today. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second service and 1 voice line. Early termination fee applies. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Call for details.
The weather has changed, and next thing you know, you'll need to switch your furnace to AC. There is no better time than now to get a new AC. And this month only, you can get a new furnace for free to go with it. That's right. Buy a new AC and get a new furnace for free. Call the folks at Anthony and get ready for spring and summer while saving a lot of cash. That's Anthony, the technicians KC has trusted for 70 years. Get more information at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Hey, Soren Petro here. Why settle for pre-sliced meats and dry bread when you can get sliced to order meats piled high on soft, fresh baked bread? Founded right here in Lenexa, Kansas, Good Sense has been doing things the right way since they began. Good Sense has been a Kansas City classic for over 30 years. They've mastered the craft of soft bread by preparing and baking their signature bread twice each day. They slice all their meats and cheeses by hand to make sure that your sandwich tastes fresh. They don't do these things because they're easy. They do them because it's what tastes best. Good Sense also offers toasted subs, pastas, my daughter's absolute favorite, and even kids' meals too. And their delicious giant cookies make the perfect dessert. Find the Good Sense location closest to you at goodsense.com. Sandwich lovers in KC have chosen Good Sense for over 30 years, not because it's easy, but because it's better. No nonsense, just Good Sense.
Are you looking for unique sporty clothing and merchandise that makes you stand out from the crowd? Do you love Kansas City sports teams? The Cherry Company designs and creates fashion-forward gear for athletes, avid sports fans, and everything in between. Check out our famous Casey Mahomes denim jacket at cherrysportsgear.com or find it in stores in the Made in KC, Lee Summit, or Plaza location. Sport styles, sport local, sport Cherry. Want a 20% off discount? Mention 810 Sports in store or use code 810 online. Stay on top and visit cherrysportsgear.com today.
Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM. You got to tell me, once everyone's vaccinated and no masks will be required, everyone will be bumping this song again.
Oh, man. I was bumping that song this weekend, actually. And so, yeah, it's good. And actually, a little secret for you, Sterling. As soon as we get through, I actually had to grill fired up. That's the reason why I didn't come to the station today, because I'm grilling today.
And you didn't even invite me over? How dare you?
I don't. The show's not over with. I mean, I was just letting you know why I'm not there. But if you want to come over, say you want to try to put me out there like that, you're always invited over, Sterling. I got 2 slabs of ribs going on. I got chicken on. I got chicken on there as well. So trust me, it's you're gonna think you're Gates away from Gates.
What grill do you use?
I use it's part grill and part smoker. It's got the little.
Oh, that's fancy.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, I got it from Home Depot. So I actually spent some money on it.
I'm getting ready to set the old Traeger up. Never had a Traeger. My girlfriend has one. We're setting one up.
I don't know if it's a trade. Yeah, I spent some money on it, so I didn't know you were going to ask me what brand.
I'm sorry, Darren. I didn't mean to throw you on the spot like that.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. Trust me, I got 2 big ass slabs too. Oh gosh.
Quick rundown since we have a couple minutes left in the show today. Again, Les Miles is out as the KU head coach. Jeff Long will be doing his speech now. We'll probably give you some more information on that when we come back on tomorrow's show. Some other news around the NFL. Trent Brown, the right tackle, is heading from the Raiders down back to the New England Patriots. Of course, the Patriots get him back after he got paid with the Raiders. Their offensive line's imploding. 3 of their 5 guys are now out. Darren, what are the Raiders doing?
I guess they're trying to free up some cap space or something to go after Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson. I don't know, but I mean, if you're giving away 3/5 of your best your best asset, I'm not exactly sure.
That was your strength. That was the whole reason why Derek Carr was any good. And now you're getting rid of your offensive line. The Raiders are I don't know. They're bad right now.
They are
John
bad.
Gruden, what are you doing? I don't even know what's happening right now in Raiderland. It's fun for Chiefs fans, though. It's fun for us.
I do want to say before we get off the air that Sterling was able to burst his bubble yesterday. He finally got on the bedside. Went 1-0 last night. I finally convinced him to come over to the dark side, people. So if you want to know the type of bets that Sterling makes, just listen to him on the show.
1-0, 2-0 today. Thank you. With the over from, what was it? I don't even know who I bet. See, I'm already addicted, and we can't do this. I can't do this.
Miami, Pittsburgh, baby. That's what
and I hit it, baby. 2-0. But we do have to get out of here. This was Darren and Sterling right here on ESPN Kansas City. We'll be back live in studio tomorrow from 3 to 4 p.m. right here on 94.5 FM and 1510 AM. We are out.